Hey folks, so today let's talk about my Grizzly twins. We won't talk about the Grizzly triplet just yet. We'll talk about this one later, but these are the three Grizzly tools that I have in my shop. My Parallelogram jointer, my 13-inch planer, and yes, the culprit that caused my hand issue, my Grizzly bandsaw. We'll talk about this at a later date, but know that we're going to talk about this one. But today, I want to talk about these two twins because these two are what get me started on pretty much every single project. So let's zoom in and talk about the jointer first, then we'll talk about the planer. All right, folks, so this is the tool that gets me started on pretty much every one of my projects. Now I may shorten some of them up before I get here with my miter saw, but this is where I start. So this is the Grizzly G0940X spiral head parallelogram jointer. Now this is approximately 72 inches long and it's an 8-inch bed. I had conversations before I purchased this. I really wanted to go with a 6-inch jointer, took up less space. It was only 110, so I didn't have to rewire my shop. But I'll tell you, after the conversations that I had, I am glad that I chose to move to the 8-inch jointer. It really handles every piece of wood that I throw at it, and for all of the projects, for what I do, this is perfect. Now, the length helps. It's really the width that helps. I need to get, so when I build a table or I build any of my larger projects, when I'm milling 9-quarter lumber, and I talk about the 9-quarter lumber on my table saw review, and I'll make sure I put that below, because this is the third of multiple reviews that I'm going to put up about my tools while I'm injured and can't work. The first one was my dust collector. The second one is my table saw. Now we're moving into my Grizzly products. The first two were Harvey products. These are my Grizzly products, and I'll do this one in one other Grizzly review before I move on to the next one. I'll link all of those below. But this is the the spiral head jointer. I really like this jointer. Does a great job for me. When I need to flatten that first flat surface, I'll usually get everything down to about 7 3/4 of an inch, so I carry this full bed. What I like about this is it has 40 carbide blade heads here, and I'll try and zoom in this or get a better zoom in and kind of copy and paste it or chop it up so you can see what the heads look like. But I can turn these, so there are 4 different sides to each cutter head, and I've turned them twice, so I can turn them 2 more times before I have to replace them all. It's a very smooth operating tool. What I have found with this tool is that the spiral head, as opposed to the helical head that I'll talk about on my planer shortly, makes bigger chunks of wood, and they fill up my dust collector faster, so I have to be aware of that. Now, speaking of that, my dust collector is here on the end, so there's a chute that pushes it down and it goes right to my dust collection, and it's right there out of the way, and it collects everything. I really like the way that this moves. It moves very easily. I can adjust it very easily, so if it gets out of square, and they do periodically, it adjusts very easily to get myself back to 90. And I'm really working with one hand here, so I can only do that. And this is pretty heavy cast iron. So it works well. Now, I see some people do some things on it, like do a 45 cut on it. I strictly handle this to make sure that my face is flat and one edge is flat. Then I will take that piece and I will go to my planer, and we're going to talk about that shortly, to get that second face coplane. I will go to my table saw to get that second edge coplane so that everything's perfect. Now, something you want to keep in mind, now this adjusts very well right here. Unlock this. This bed goes up and it comes down. Now, honestly, this is quite a bite. I normally don't have that, only really shallow, so I'm not taking a huge bite unless I absolutely have to. And what I try to do is I try to look at my boards to see where the bow is. So I try to put the crown up and I run the face through the planer with the crown up. It may take a little bit longer, but I'm not getting any rocking. So if there's a big crown in that piece, obviously I'm only cutting the beginning and the end of the board, and I'm slowly bringing them down until the whole board is flat. I find that if I do it with the crown down, so your crown is down, now you're getting some rocking. I don't like that. I always do it with the crown up. And then once that's done, I'll do that one edge and make sure I have a good clean edge before I move on. This is a great tool. Now keep in mind, this is a 240 piece single phase. So I had to have a new circuit put in for this. So I have a circuit for this tool, I have a circuit for my table saw, and I have a circuit for my dust system. So there's 3 different breakers to manage just those 3, and they work great. I don't have any problems with them at all. So this is the G0490X Parallelogram spiral head joiner from Grizzly. I love this unit. It works fabulous to get me started on any project that I have. So now let's pause this. I'm going to turn my camera around and we're going to talk about its twin, and that would be the planer. All right, so this is the Grizzly G0940 13-inch helical head planer. They have another one, a G0930, that is a straight cutter head, a little less expensive. So from my perspective, I've had a straight cutter head, really worked great. I enjoyed it. It worked well. It wasn't a Grizzly. It was a different brand. But for me, it worked great. But I needed something that was a little cleaner and something that was a little quieter. We'll find that the helical head is quieter than the straight cutter head planer when it cuts. And living into development, that was very important to me. So that was really one of the first choices, but I wanted that helical head. And as I talked about with my joiner earlier, the pieces of wood coming out of this are actually smaller than the spiral head. That was kind of interesting to me. Now maybe it's just my perspective, but this does not fill up the dust system as fast as the spiral head joiner does. Kind of interesting note from my standpoint, because I push a lot of wood through here and you're pulling off more wood here, at least in my opinion, but it doesn't create that much. So, but I like this. It's a little bit quieter. Obviously it's still a tool. It's going to be noisy. You want your ear protection on, and I do wear ear protection every time I run this. So a few things that I like about this. So let me jump over here and hope that you can still see me. This adjustment is very well. It works very well. Now, inside here is I forget what kind of bed this is. I will point that out in my notes below to know what kind of bed this is. I forget what it was, and I almost wrote it down and I forgot. But this will handle anything up to 13 inches. Now understand, it is very seldom that I push a 13-inch board through this. When I create a table, I'm bringing those boards down to anywhere from 7 to 4 inches wide, depending on what the table is. So I'm not going through here with a 13-inch board. Most of the wood that I'm milling is actually 9/4. So I'm bringing those down to 2 inches. So down to 8/4. I want a good 2-inch tabletop, sometimes down to 1 3/4 inches. So this is really chewing up a lot of wood. And what you'll find in here, and you can't see it here, but if you're able to look underneath, you're going to see that there are 2 rows of 30 inserts in here. And this thing really chews up the wood. It handles anything that I put through it. I handle black walnut, both red and white oak, hard maple, ash, poplar, a lot of cherry. I have a cherry item on the bench right now, some mahogany. This handles it all without any issues. Now, one of the things I found with a straight knife cutter head, you get some skipe at the end, which means it would dig in at the end of the board. This is not as bad with the helical head, but you still have to manage that. So I do it one of 2 ways. One, I always cut my boards a little bit long. Obviously, if you're gluing a table, you want to be able to square that up later with your track saw. But my boards, I cut a little bit long, so if I get a little bit of that skipe, I can clean it up, I can cut it off later. The other thing that I do is when I get to the other end, I lift it up just a little bit, not much, just a little bit of pressure, and I don't get the amount of skipe that I was getting with my straight cutter head. Really is a great tool. It's not super loud. It will handle up to a 6-inch board if I need that, and I have done a 6-inch board on it. I've also brought it down to 1/8 of an inch. This will cut down a board down to 1/8 of an inch. This really works great. I use this for a number of things. If I go to my bandsaw and I need to take a 9/4 piece of wood that I've milled down and cleaned up, and maybe I need 2 pieces of 3/4 out of that, so I will rip that on my bandsaw. I'll resaw it a little thicker, so maybe at 1 inch. And then I'll come over here and I'll flip it over because I already have a milled face on the bottom, and I'll clean up that resaw part and bring it down to that 3/4. So I can take a 9/4 board, surface it with my jointer, get that flat piece, go to my bandsaw and get 2 good pieces of wood out of it and sometimes it's a 1/2 inch that I need. I'll get that out of that. So this really is good at cleaning up that lumber for me. It's fast, it's accurate. Now you have your dust port right here. So this is a 2-inch dust port that I have to put an adapter on to get a 4-inch hose, and I have a 4-inch hose I hook to this. Handles without any problem. I get probably 90% of it. You will get some of it coming out of the front here. Not a huge deal. This is your gauge to adjust what your depth is, and it's really accurate. Now, I'll use a gauge to measure my wood as I'm running through here, so I don't trust, not that I don't trust it, but I set this to give me a standard, and then I will use my my gauge to make sure I'm really at that 3/4 inch as I'm coming through, or that 2-inch, or that 1 3/4 inch. I use my digital gauge for that, but this really works, is really accurate. Now here's something with this. So let's talk about Grizzly support. This one I had for about a year, and all of a sudden I had problems with the motor. I was throwing sparks, whatever, so we cleaned out these guys right here, take these out, pop them out, clean them out. Still didn't work. The motor died. I was within a year warranty on it. So I got online, I sent Grizzly an email and said, hey, here I am, here's my serial number, here's what I've got. They sent me a new motor within a week. I had a brand new motor. Now you'll see here, it says G09, but you can't see the 40. That's because this one says G0940 on it, because they use the same motor for a G0930 and G0940. So this is the same motor. This has been in here for now a year and a half, and this thing goes through everything I push to it. Love this. Love the tech support that I get from Grizzly. Have never had any problems with that. I had to replace a belt on my jointer. I got on and I said, guys, which one do I need? Within a day, they told me which one. They sent it to me. Again, within less than a week, I had that piece. So these are both Grizzly. I'm really pleased with my Grizzly items. I really like them. Their support is phenomenal, and they're just really good tools to work with. So I hope you enjoyed the review of the joiner and the planer. I will put links to both of these below. I don't get any money for these. This is my review. They're not paying me to do this. But Grizzly, hey, if you want to throw something my way, I'm more than happy to do that. I will also link the Harvey dust processor video I did earlier and the Harvey Table Saw review I did as well. So you have both of those to refer back to. I have in the future, I'm going to do my Grizzly bandsaw next. That's dear and near to my heart because that's why I have my wrist issues today. I'm also going to review my DeWalt chop saw, and I have a couple of other tools that I'm going to try and get done before I go back to work in January. Looks like I lost power. So if we're still videoing and you can see me at all, thank you for watching this video. And please subscribe. Go out to our Instagram and our Facebook and subscribe there as well. And in the meantime, while I can't keep making sawdust, I hope that you all keep making sawdust, and God bless.